All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set 30 base. 54. I'm going to run you over. 5.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
90 Wolf. Check. Walk 54. You ain't got nothing. You ain't
A first down carry for Smith. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
At the 50-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He completes it to Jones. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Let's go for it. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
At the 27-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't going nowhere.
Here's Newton. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
First down.
Here we go. 180.
On first down, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Here's Newton. He's going to look deep for more. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And he's got it. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yard your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Ito Smith, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Sparks. Caught by Jones. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 23. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Smith. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
2nd and 9 now. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run forward with Smith. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the shotgun to McCaffrey, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Newton. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. The shotgun snap for Newton. He'll get this one complete to Terry Godwin. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
1st down, Panthers.
Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the 50, Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks,
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. On the run, it's Smith. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught at the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Smith trying to run for it. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
70, Indy. You. Hey, Sam off.
Another try for Smith. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Hey, Charlie. Here I come. Let's go.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Golden. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And he completes it to Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Let's get it. Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. 54. Hey, let's get off the field, G. Let's get off the field.
Operating from the gun, Sparks. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Taken from just outside the 30. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position.
What's that? Look at it.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And that'll be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Gun.
Throwing again. Newton looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Newton now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Again, Newton. Now he'll escape to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Get him, boy. Check. Watch 54. Ready? 8.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked picked off at the 19. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Team 6. Team 6. Get it.
On first down, Sparks. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Sparks. They'll set up the screen to Smith. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From the gun on third down, Sparks. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall...
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Another try after the first down sack. Newton, that one is caught by Hunt. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And it's third down.
Ready. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Third and long. It's Newton. Steps away to his left.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Green flexing his muscle. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's got Smith here. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Smith. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Stop your whining.
Check the recon, 132 fighter.
Hey, check 24, check 24.
Go.
They'll run now with Gaskin, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready up.
Mike by 4. Mike by 4. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On 3rd down, Smith. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Sparks. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Come on, set. 18, Gator.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Protein spill.
Check. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike.
Get it.
Looking to throw. Sparks. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The Panthers take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means...
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. And it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
From the 30 on second down. Greer, throw left side, complete. It's Hunt. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on second and 8. Greer stepping up. He's going to keep it. Well, now Greer, he fumbled the football, and the Falcons grab it. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
He can't hang. He's not going to go.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Greer. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Jeffrey Simmons in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Panthers on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On 3rd and long, here's Greer. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Greer, he's going to look deep for more. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
Set. 18 Gator.
54. Here we go. Slam, slam, slam.
Get it.
They'll run on 1st down. Smith. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with Cook?
Oh, now Greer, he fumbled the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Greer now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a 1st down. Here's Greer. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Greer. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 24 yards. Greer now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Greer sets to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Greer. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Greer. And Thomas has it. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now Greer. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Back to you.
Bravo. Ready.
On 4th down, Greer. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there. Quick there.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, Greer. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeffrey Simmons racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Greer now on 2nd down. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Greer now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Greer, and he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Greer looks to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Greer now, 5 for 5 on the drive. He's responded after the interception. It's 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Greer on 3rd down. That's complete right around the 8. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they?
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point try good by Gano as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves.